I mean, it's a lot of fun. Anytime you win, it's a great time, obviously. But this win meant a lot more. They obviously got us early in the year, and that one stung a bit. So you could definitely tell we came out with some fire, but we got 4 more, so we got to keep getting them. Honestly, just feeding off the energy of my teammates and the crowd. Just getting open looks. They were finally starting to go down. I know I started off missing all my threes, and then one of them went in, and then that other one went in. But just my teammates found me at the right time, and then obviously the crowd's energy. Our fans are great. They make it a lot easier to play here. I think locking down on defense. I mean, I know the last game we held them to 30-some points. This game was, I think, 30-some, or maybe 40. But just locking down on defense is really key, because when we get stops on defense, we can go out on transition offense, and then it just helps us out a lot. I think, like you said, just keeping our composure, slowing down, not trying to rush into what they were trying to get us to do. And then you could kind of sense their frustration, which I'm sure was kind of the same way when we played there. They could probably sense our frustration. So we just feed off of that, and then again, feed off the crowd, feed off of everyone. It was just really nice. It's definitely all effort. I mean, we've been talking about getting more recently the last couple games because we haven't really been going to the boards. So it's definitely 100% effort, like you said, and just having a will to win and just go get the ball.
Well, we went into this knowing we had to give everything. And, I mean, coming off the bench, I'm able to see what other people are doing. I'm able to see who's boxing out where. And I think I've had a lot of games where, like, there's been scoring droughts for me. People are missing, stuff like that. So I always figured, I'm like, the one thing I can do and the one thing I can provide is rebounding. That's the one thing I can consistently do for my team without, like, sometimes the ball's not going to fall. Sometimes, you're going to get some foul calls. But rebounding is the one thing that I can do consistently, and that a lot of us love to do consistently to make sure that we have the ball back and can get as many chances at the rim as possible. This game was so personal because, I don't know if anyone watched the first Ball State game, but, their posts had a game against us. And I think when we know who we are and we're battling every day, and we know we're better than what we played last time, proving that we could stick it to them and just do everything we could differently and, like, really pull out all the stops this game was a big thing. So I'm really proud of my other fives and just being able to come off the bench and provide that. My coach pulls me aside every time I about to go in. She goes, deep breath. So that's kind of something I've started doing before I go in, and it felt really good today because I went up in the stands. That's why I'm a little bit late today, but I went up in the stands and I saw my dad just grinning ear to ear. He was crying a little bit. I know I'm gonna call him out a little bit on that, but yeah, he was real emotional, and it was a really good day. No, so Coach Page is the one. Every time I go in, because I get a little anxious, big games and coming off the bench like that. Sometimes it can be a little bit daunting, and I go in and I'm just like all over the place, but she kind of centered me today. Every time I was about to go in, deep breath, you know how to play. So Coach Page always makes sure that I'm on my A game, and I'm really grateful for that. Oh my gosh. So at one point, I was coming off, I think it was an inbound play, and I had the ball. I took it to her. She popped up behind me, and I just stood there with my arms behind my back, and I ran back the whole time holding up that little 3 for her, and I was so hyped for her. It's so great being able to be, like, with her when she's doing that. I'd hate to be the other team when she's hot like that, because the entire stadium rallied behind us. It really does feel like a celebrity moment, and being a fan of your own teammate is so exciting. I'm always a fan of Sammy and Soph and Q, and when any of them gets hot, it could be anyone's day. Well, we go up against guys every single day, so I think going up against post guys, they're a little bit faster, they're a little bit stronger. Going up against them really prepared us for really anything we were going to see. They're always getting their hands tipped and tips, and that was what we saw today. So we had a really good idea of what we were going to be facing, and obviously we played them before. We all had a big motive, big idea of what we wanted to accomplish today. So preparation is everything, and our coaches are probably the best team in the MAC doing that. They're going to get us ready no matter what. I know we're in there every single day just sticking it to the guys. So it was a good week.
Really, really proud of our defensive effort today. To hold a team that is that potent offensively to 48 points was simply exceptional. I thought our defensive intensity and execution of the game plan, I thought Danielle did a phenomenal job with her scout. My staff did a wonderful job of preparing them on the defensive end. But I just can't speak enough about what our defense has done in the last 2 games. I thought offensively we started slow out of the gate, and then we finally got rolling. And I just couldn't be prouder of Sammy McConowitz. You know, it was a frustrating night for her when we played over in Muncie. She had a rough game, and I thought she made up for it more tonight. She kind of was on a mission, and I just was so proud of what she did. But I also think a difference between us now and us back then is our bench is developed, and our bench has confidence, and we're able to spell people, and we can play at a very high level for a long time. Yeah, I thought we had to because we weren't shooting it well initially, and even throughout the game. You know, I thought Jess Cook pulled down some big ones, but even just batting the ball and keeping it alive, I thought all of our kids were very aggressive, and that was something we talked about before the game of we've got to be the aggressor on the boards. I thought we still had too many turnovers. A lot of those you could attribute to that first probably 3-4 minutes of the game. Boy, I felt like every possession. And then I thought we calmed down and for the most part did a nice job. But still, you look at paint points. I thought we worked really, really hard. I thought our bench, 21 points there. And we were steady. I mean, you look at it, 10-6 offensively, the score in the first quarter tells you both teams were battling. Both teams are very solid defensively and made it tough on each other. And then I thought from then on, our offense got clicking. As hard as she works, it was nice to see it pay off because she's in the gym all the time. And, Sammy is so versatile, and she's become a better ball handler and attacking the basket, reading defenses. And then I was glad the threes started falling late because her attacking the basket today was one of the best things we did offensively. Possibly.
What areas think you need better than last year?
I think we've got to shoot it more consistently, and I think that we've got to continue to take good care of the basketball. I think last season, if you go back and look, I think we averaged 12 turnovers a game. There's been a few nights we've been a little higher than that, but I would say most teams probably have more than 18 turnovers versus them. And I just think our composure is really, really good. This team doesn't get rattled when things go wrong, and we have plenty of people to rotate in if someone does. But I think defensively, we've got a lot of mature players on the court that have played a lot of minutes. I think what people forget is Soleil missed a big chunk of the beginning of the year. And when you finally get released to play, that doesn't mean when somebody says, okay, they can play now, that they're 100%. And then you look at Q. So we had kind of two punches thrown at us and obstacles that we had to overcome to get to where we are today. But if you had to peak at a certain time in the season, I'd rather do it right now and have people grumbling, a couple months ago. I'd really rather that, and I'll take that because I'd rather see a team peak at the right time. And I think, I'm not saying we're there. We have a lot of things to improve upon, but I will say I'm really, really pleased with the way we're starting to play. I think we all knew what was on the line. Sole possession of first place. We both are weathered, battled teams that, if you look at the statistical categories in the league, in the MAC, in most categories, we're 1 or 2, both of us. And so you knew it was going to be an incredible game and a fight. And I really thought that first quarter was indicative of two teams battling really hard. Sometimes people will say, well, that's terrible offense. No, it's two great defensive teams making it hard on each other and taking away what each other want because we both know what each other want. And I thought once we settled in, we fixed some problems that we were having. Yes, I'm really, really proud of them. I know how hard it was to get to this point. And tonight, I'm going to feel really good about that. Afterwards, I said to him, how's it feel to be sole possession of first place? That's an incredible feeling knowing that, we started out stumbling a little bit and not maybe playing the way we wanted to play, but I've always believed in this team. This team has a better record right now than last year's team in MAC play. We dropped a game at BG, we dropped a game at Northern Illinois early and had to chase BG most of the MAC season and caught them late. Same thing tonight. I think a lot of people counted us out, and I would say we have a chip on our shoulder for it, and we're ready to play and finish this season strong. And I've always believed in this team, and I continue to believe that they can accomplish great things if they play together, and they played really well together today. She's catching her stride. She had a little lull in the middle of the season where she was really frustrated, and we knew that she could play better. I think all of us. She knew it, we knew it, and she just had to play through it. I think the biggest thing is continuing to believe in herself because we believe in her. And I think she continues to do good things. I thought offensive putbacks tonight. I thought our defense was really good. Look at her pass that she threw back door toward the end. She's an exceptional passer, and she's just strong. People can't push her around. That's part of the reason why we recruited her toughness. But we need that Jess Cook that we saw a lot toward the end of last year and even that we're starting to see now. I've told her all along, we're going to win if she continues to show up because she is what made us a tough team. I think where we keep our team balanced is that tomorrow, or not tomorrow, tomorrow's off, but Monday, they will walk into good and bad film. And I will show them all the bad because I want them to stay humble and hungry. So we're going to make sure that we see all those turnovers in that first quarter. There'll be a lot of heads go down, but there'll also be a nice dose of congratulations on all these good things you did because we need those repeated. But I think that's what you got to do. We didn't play, I would say this, you don't always play great when you win and you don't always play bad when you lose. And keeping an even keel mindset is it's what helped us win 17 straight games last year. We've got to continue to stay humble and hungry. That's our recipe. Well, we lost last year, and I think our kids remember that. Plus, it's their senior night. I mean, we don't want to leave anything out there. I think our kids know how important this is. I think our seniors want to win their last game at Northern. But I will say they're exceptionally talented. They can shoot the three. They can get hot. They're very good playing off of each other. I watched their Ball State game, and we can't really replicate what they do because they were hitting all kinds of threes everywhere on the court. And, they're a different kind of team than us. We'll have to have a valiant defensive effort and great focus to win. We're not going to take them lightly.